All right, guys, hope all is well. I'm just going to do a quick video about what I'm looking for on the markets this week. If any of you guys have been following my videos, you know I've been bearish on the dollar for a while. We have broken structures. Now we're just looking for a pullback, and then there's continuation short. I do want to look to see what potential reactions are going to be around this zone. If we are going to come back down into here and then actually have a run and potentially come up deeper into this zone. This is our 12-hourly zone. And then if we do actually come back into here, this is then when I think we could have that big rollover. Or I am potentially looking for a rollover from this region in price. So following basic structure, we should now be looking for a lower low, or if not a lower low, to at least come out and take out this low. Now we have broken structures. This is our confirmed lower high. So any point above this is going to be a shift on the 4-hourly. Next zone's potentially into here. But from this point, I am just looking for continuations. We did have a very small zone of a distribution in here in the Asian session. You can see we rated this high, rated these, rated this one here. This is our final move. Broke structures. Now we're just looking for the zone that actually kind of caused this. So in fact, this could be our major final last point of contact. So if we break higher and we invalidate the zone, that's going to be when potential direction or biases change. But until then, I am just looking for shorts. I potentially could see price coming down, take out this high one more time, and then potentially come down. Like I said, I do want to see what reactions we do get in and around here. Again, we can break this down, pull this down to our last kind of imbalance zone. This was the demand that broke out of this structure and gave us this big impulse into the supply. So is this now a buy to sell, or is this buy, come down, mitigate, and then actually continue? So that is what I'm looking for the dollar. I'm either waiting for potentially price to just roll over, or I'm potentially expecting some sort of reaction from this zone, maybe just to push higher, and maybe just to mitigate in this position here, to then actually take this back down into this level, even potentially down into these zones. Dollar is very bearish at the moment. So let's see if we can just have that continuation of those moves. So that's US dollar. US 30. I've been looking for a short from this position here. We did actually get that earlier. I did actually close out of this trade. I do think we could push higher, definitely push higher. But whether it's going to be price come up first to then pull back to then actually run higher, it's just a little bit tricky at the moment. It's not the cleanest of things. We are just in a bit of a range. I don't really want to be selling from these points because we have points of liquidity like these, which can definitely get taken out. And we did not, in fact, actually fully test this last 25-minute zone. Oh yeah, we did actually, sorry. So from this point where I was looking for, actually, no, sorry, we didn't actually come in and test. Sorry. I think it was just the daily, if I'm honest. Let's go back. Yeah, okay, cool. So this line is just this last daily move, and we did not actually come in and test it. We came really close. We didn't get it. So I don't really want to be selling here because we very much could run up. And I don't really want to be buying because of this low and, well, all of this. So if anything does happen, I do think we could potentially be looking at a sell to buy movement. If we do get reaccumulations in and around these zones, I do want to be looking to see if we can take price higher. If we come down and generate and keep liquidity within this area, that's going to be looking good for potential buys. If we do break up higher and actually close above this level, then I'm just going to see that as a breaker structure, look for a pullback and then continuations. So that is USD. At the moment, I am just leaving it. I'm just going to wait to see what kind of develops. So it's only Monday, so let's not rush anything. NAS 100. I have been waiting for potential pullbacks again. We've been bullish for how long now when we broke this? So I'd say going inside January. Oh yeah, we've been kind of bullish so far, which is nice to see. And I do think we could potentially run some places higher. So on the daily time frame, our basic structure is, I'm saying, failed to generate a lower low. We're shifting lower time frame momentum. So this is our confirmed low because of this break structure, which this means this is our confirmed lower high. So price can come all the way back up into this zone. If we don't break it, we can still be bearish. But I think we could go long in and around here and actually dig deep into said level, or maybe running higher and taking out these highs, depending on what's going to potentially be happening this year. We do have weekly highs all the way back up here, which could potentially be a possibility. But I definitely do think we could still definitely run higher. Realistically, on the daily, we do have really nice supply with unmitigated zones. We did just sweep this high. Whoops. We did just sweep this high in here. So I'm looking to see if we can get some longs or pullbacks. But let's kind of run still, keep going on the daily. We break structure, we pull back. We didn't pull back as far as I would have liked, but we don't always do that. And then price again started to shift out of this momentum, or we broke this high intermediate structure. Now I'm just looking for the zone that caused that, because usually I'd be pulling my fib. I'd be waiting for a pullback at least into the 50% or anywhere around here, and then look for longs. But I honestly don't think price is going to retrace that much. And considering just how bullish we've been, I do think we could actually just continue a run. We do have a couple zones marked out. First of all, you can see we have this last daily sell to buy movement, pullback, break structure. This is looking nice for me because, but just for a moment, I want you to think, why, out of all of this, why do you think, for me, I'm looking at this level within this? I'll give you a moment. Within here. So let's break it down. If you can see this area is a big level of supply and demand in the market. We can go back. There's going to be supply and demand all within here. Areas of consolidation, supply and demand created. We continue. If you can see, we shifted out of this initial high. We started to break higher, and then all within this whole zone was created by this, because we came up into this zone and here. Banks mitigate their orders. They take or release liquidity from the market, because in order for the banks to be able to push price, they have to release liquidity into the market. You can see they released it, they pulled back, they sold, they to buy. You can see raid of liquidity. This is your sell, this is your buy, this is your confirmed breaker structure. So now you're just looking for the zone that caused this breaker structure and the invalidation of this supply. So you can see price came down, we tested, and then we actually really continued and broke higher. So I'm now looking for the exact same thing. I'm just looking for the zone that caused this break of structure. So if we use our fib, you can see 50% range prices actually came into the 50%. So in all reality, we actually could push all the way from here. But I do think we could maybe have one more deep run. If we go into the 12-hour, again, you can see this your high, 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 low, high, high. Look, just looking at that high, low, and then potentially that high, high come take out this high. But so far, I'm looking for this zone more so, but I'm also still looking to long anywhere above this kind of 50% region. So I had two zones that I was looking out for. I wasn't really out behind my mark behind the computer today. So I was setting orders and just potentially different zones. If I'm placing orders when I'm not about, I do like to kind of keep a bit of a play area for price to kind of come into, as long as it's not too crazy. But what we did have and what I did identify is a accumulation. We have a deep die off in price accumulates, and then we actually start pushing higher. You can see this is your Wyckoff because we're generating liquidity in the highs, liquidated, liquidated, liquidated. We come in to that New York, and then we actually continue. So we had this New York low, which then got generated also with this Asian. Price comes down in the London session, takes out Asian liquidity, takes out previous daily low, one more time on the run of London, and then we actually break out of London and a New York session. So this for me was looking like a nice zone. I was either looking for this 30-minute or I was looking for potentially this 30-minute. And again, you can see price obviously came down a bit deeper. And if you do have a couple levels, like don't be worried to kind of place more orders if they are actually valid. So you can see first one, price came down. We just took me out. That's fine. And then you can see I did have a second order that was actually at the open of this 30-minute, and then actually that continuation. So if we drop it down on a 15-minute, you can see I actually wasn't really aware of this, but looking now, we can see that price came all the way down into this 15-minute. So in fact, this would have even been a better potential buy off this 15-minute, and that would have been so valid. So we can delete this one for the time being. I'm just going to put this into the side. And I'm going to have my first targets up into this New York high. So stops below the accumulation, that's potential 1 to 6, could be up 1 to 4 right now. On this, obviously I didn't get this, but this kind of just goes to show when you do actually scale in, you can actually find good opportunities to be playing off. And this is why I like to kind of focus on Wyckoff and things, because you can see, and these are like the major points, because most of the orders are going to be actually within a Wyckoff accumulation distribution, because you can see that there's major sweeps of liquidity. So you can see price comes down, we test, and then we actually start having that continuation, looking to take out London, Asian, and our prior daily high. From there, let's delete this because I'm not in that, but I am in this, and we are break even at the moment, currently up not a massive amount, currently up a 2.4% gain, 2.4% off. So really and truly, I am going to be looking for all of these highs to get raided. But where could we potentially come down to? We could, in fact, run into this 15-minute. So 15-minute, really, really clear, nice sell to buy movement. I'm not sure what we actually mitigated in on this. Okay, yeah, so we basically just filled everything back to normal. Yeah, you can see low got swept, just filling in more of this imbalance. And then we have that continuation. Now we're just looking for the zone that caused the shift from this supply and this supply. Now the new demand. You can see sell to buy, pull back, break highs. Now we're just looking for a test back into this zone and then potential continuations a little bit higher. So where could we be looking for? Honestly, I'm just looking for this high. I do think we could have a pretty big run all the way up into these highs and at least into these daily imbalance. This is probably going to be more of a swing. This is why I probably don't think price is going to come down here. We could, in fact, if we do break, and if we do break, that's fine. But I'm honestly just probably thinking that we're just going to really just move from here. So again, I'm going to potentially be looking for moves off said zone just to take it up onto 8. Even use, yeah. So what I would like to see is consolidation, going into London, and then going into New York crossover, and then we have that higher continuation taking out all of the rest and liquidity within this point. I am going to look to see and look potentially to take partials in around these zones. But so far, accumulation is actually lining up and we're manipulating lows and mitigating. So this is nice to see. SPX as well, basically the exact same thing. You can see we are accumulating. We have supply that's been invalidated. We had highs that have been run. This is your breaker structure. Looking for a pullback, you can see price even creates that 50% sweep of liquidity breaker structure. We did shift this structure, but this shouldn't have been the main zone that you should have been looking for. Actually should have been down here. So again, exactly the same as NAS 100. I'm in along like this. But there is going to be potential areas to play from. SPX, I'm really probably just looking to expect to just have a pretty big run. So far, we are just accumulating. I don't think price is actually going to be able to come back down into here. I think we are just going to run and start taking out a lot of these highs. And on daily, again, same with NAS. This is your low, this is your high, this is your lower low, confirmed. Everything in here is just generate liquidity. So I do want to see this kind of move to play out. That is what I'm potentially waiting for. This could be happening, going into the summer. But if we can get into opportunities, that's going to be really amazing to see. Again, you can see on the 4-hour, nice sell to buy. So if we do actually get confirmed break of this high, I do want to see price come back down and then continuations higher. I do potentially could see some sort of zone in here get met. I'm probably not looking too much. We could mitigate, come back down, test, and then actually continue. That could very much well be a possibility. But so far, any opportunities for long on indexes at the moment, I'd be advising. Everything is bullish. You don't want to be selling in a bearish market unless it's very, very intermediate. So just go with the trend. That's all I can advise. Just go with the trend. If it's looking bullish, it's probably just going to continue bullish unless you have a significant breaker structure. AU, again, I'm still looking for these daily zones to get met. Down in here, we are moving slightly bearish with everything. I do think we could have a run. So far, we've actually been breaking, we've actually been creating demand, then turning that demand into supply. And so far, we have been selling off. So could potentially see a continuation from here, pullbacks, and then short, and then see if we can actually start taking out some of these lows we did sweep. Some lows today, but until we actually break this is going to be more of a, if we do actually break, then I'm going to be looking for pullbacks, and then continuations back up into these zones, whether we're going to actually break and go higher. But we are bearish. Price is breaking lower. So again, I'm just going to be looking for shorts. Shorts for now, overall shorts, unless we actually start breaking above these highs, then I do want to be targeting potentially up into here. That is the range and point I do want to be looking for. Okay, there we go. Just looking to see how many pips that is. Okay, 73. So there's a nice decent amount of room that we can actually play with around here. So let's just check this out and wait and see. Euro GBP, just really quick. I am potentially looking to see intermediate, if there is a buy in and around this zone, at least maybe back up into here. You can see the structure so far. We've been bearish, then we went bullish, and then we broke structures, we went bearish. This is our high, this is our low. We can trade anywhere back up into this zone without actually changing directions. So I do think we could have a bit of a pull down. We do have a really nice 20-minute zone in here. This is a really, really nice accumulation. We have your lows, we have the raid, we have the breaker structure. What do I always say? We have consolidation, manipulation, BOS, and I'm classing all of this kind of as a breaker structure or a shift. I'm just looking for that test and then that continuation higher. I am bearish on this, but so far we have been testing imbalance, 2-hourly and an hourly zone. We have been testing it. We do still have this zone that I think we could actually come trade back into, and that's when I do think we could have that sell to buy, and then we actually have that dive, or we potentially run into here. This is just generating more liquidity for people to buy, and then we have that move. So that is Euro GBP. I'm still waiting to see what we get with that. Euro USD. Euro USD. Spoke about this 12-hour zone, really, really nice and balanced. I knew a couple of people were potentially looking for here, but you can see we did mitigate, but this is just a generation of liquidity now. Well, in fact, we actually came up and tested 4-hourly imbalance, which I was looking for. This is your low, this is your higher high, higher low, higher high. So this is our confirmed high low because you've broken structures. Now I'm just looking for anywhere in the 50% of this range to get met. You can see 50%. This is where we've hit. This is nothing more than just demand. You can see 12-hour, we closed up. Potentially looking for a pullback, maybe a little bit deeper into this 4-hourly zone, we could have something like this. And then we start running these highs. We have a lot of we got a lot of highs in form of liquidity. So that's going to be interesting as well to see what we can get to, if we can get some continuations. That is it so far. It is only Monday. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away and help you out as much as I can. And we'll do a video again going into the week just as a catch up. But so far, this is the pairs that I'm looking at. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right, guys.